Hello friends, welcome. Today in this class, we are going to start with the market structure. Here, the market means the point where the buyers and sellers meet to each other. Okay, so they can meet either virtually or physically, but it's a point where the buyers and seller meets and do the buying and selling activities. So this is about the market. Here there is a certain point, that is how the buyers and sellers meet to each other, how the prices are changes. So there are some of the questions. The answers of it is given by the market structure, that is a type of the market structure. So market structure is a selling environment in which the seller sells and produce their goods and the services. Okay, so this is known as the market structure. There is 4 types of the market structure mainly. The first one is the perfect competition. The second is the monopoly. The third one is the oligopoly. The fourth one is the monopolistic competition. Okay, so these 4 are the basic types of the market structure. So today in this class we are talking about the perfect competition in detail. The rest of will cover in the other class. So let's start with the perfect competition. The agenda for this lecture is the features of the perfect competition, the equilibrium of a perfectly competitive firm, either in the short run and the long run both, the shutdown point and the consequences of the perfect competition. So let's start with the features of the perfect competition. Here the main basic and the foremost feature of the perfect competition is there is a very large number of buyers and sellers in the market. So when there is a large number of seller and buyer, it is the perfect competition. But here the buyers and sellers sell relatively small amount of quantity. For example, the markets for the vegetables and the fruit, in which we can find out the various large number of the sellers and buyers. The second feature of it is they are selling the same product, that is a homogeneous product. For example, if we consider a vegetable seller, they are selling tomato, for example. So the tomato is same with every seller. That means they are selling the homogeneous product. Okay. The other feature of the perfect competition is the firm is a price taker and the quantity adjuster. How the firm is price taker in the perfect competition? So here in this case, the perfect competition case, the action of the individual buyer and individual seller is not affected or it is negligible. And they are selling their product, that is at a price which is available in the market. So they are taking price whatever existed in the market. Therefore it is known as the firm is a price taker and they are adjusting their quantity according to the market price. Okay, let's understand this with the help of the example. For example, in this picture we can find that if the firm is selling their product higher price than the available price. If the seller is selling their product at a higher price, then of course all the consumer will go away from it, as they have the option to buy the same product at a cheaper price. Okay. But in a case when the seller sells their product at a cheaper price compared to the other price, okay, So all the consumer would like to buy at a cheaper price and they will come to them. But it sounds good that all consumer will come to it for the buying purpose. But here in this case, the seller itself gains nothing, and therefore they have to charge the price which is available, which has existed in the market, and therefore the firm is a price taker. Okay, so we can understand that in the perfect competition there is a same price. All the sellers are selling the product at the same price, and therefore the demand curve is a horizontal one. The next feature is the factors of the production in a perfect competition are free to enter and to leave the industry. So we can say that there is a perfect mobility of the factors in the perfect competition. The other feature is that whenever the firm would like to enter into the market, they can take exit. They can enter into the market, and whenever the firm would like to take exit, they can exit from the market. Okay, so there is no entry and exit barrier into the perfect competition firm. The next feature is that here in this case, the buyers and sellers have the complete knowledge about the market. They know everything about the market and they are doing the buying and selling activities. They have the knowledge of the cost, price, quantity, demand, etc. So they are the rational buyer and the seller. Okay. So this is all about the features of the perfect competition. Let's understand this with the help of an example of ice cream. There is a various brand of the ice cream. For example, the Amul, Vadilal, Naturals, Nestle, etc. Okay, they are selling the same product. They are using the same ingredients. So the product is the same. Okay, that is ice cream, and it is same in terms of the taste, in terms of the price also. They all are selling at the same price. Okay, the packaging of that product is same as we can see from the picture. So they are selling at the same price, the same product, and the price is also same. And there is a large number of sellers and the buyer into the market. So this is the perfect example of the perfect competition. But if we are seeing into the current market, the already existed market, we are not finding any product which have the same prices and the same product. Either the product can be different in terms of the price or in terms of the ingredient or the taste they gives to us, or it can be differ in terms of the product packaging also. So there is no example of the perfect competition, and perfect competition is not exist into the market in the real world. So this is about the features of the perfect competition. Let's move on to the equilibrium of a perfectly competitive firm. It is either in terms of the short run case and in a long run case. Let's start with the short run case. Here in the short run case, we know that entry and exit of the firm is not possible in a short run. Okay, due to some of the limitation, entry and exit is not possible in the short run, and therefore the firm end up either making profit or loss. Okay, so the firm that is existed in the short run either have the profit or the loss, and they have to bear that, and therefore the firm adjust their quantity according to the price into the market. Okay, here if let's understand this with the help of the graph. Here we have the industry in the first graph, the firm that make profit into the short run, and the third one is the graph which shows the loss of the firm that is a perfect competitive firm in a short run cases. So the first graph shows the market demand and the market supply curve and the point of the price available into the market. Okay, this is the point available price into the market. Here in this case, in the short run, the price is same, so the demand curve is the horizontal one, and as the firm is selling all their product at the same price, the average revenue curve is equal to the demand curve, which we can see from the second graph, that is here. Okay, and as the average revenue is constant, the marginal revenue will also constant, and therefore the marginal revenue curve is also same as the AR and the demand curve. Here, this is the line which shows the AR, MR and the demand curve. The other we have the marginal cost curve and the average cost curve. We know that the firm can maximize their profit at a point where the MC is equal to the MR. When the MC, that is, the AR, MC is equal to the AR. When the marginal cost is equal to the average revenue, then only the firm can have the maximum profit. It is at this point. So this is the equilibrium point. Okay. So it is a price at which the firm is producing their quantity and they are selling Q quantity at this point and they are getting the maximum profit out of that. Okay. This is a point, let's assume it is A. So A to Q is the cost of the product, whereas E and A is the profit, that is the excessive profit. Okay. So this is the abnormal profit which the firm can earn in the short period of time. Okay. So this is in a case when the firm have a profit in a short run. Whereas we can see from this graph, the third one is that the same, the AR, MR and the demand curve is the same. The AC curve is somewhat upward than the price. So the cost is higher than the price, and therefore as the cost is higher than the price, the firm having a losses in the short run. So this shows the loss in the short run. Okay. So this is about the short run case of the perfectly competitive market and their equilibrium point. Let's understand the long run case in a perfectly competitive market. Here in the long run case, the entry and exit is possible. Okay. And as entry and exit is possible, if the firm having profit, okay, they continue with the business. And if the firm have a high amount of loss, then they take exit from the business. Okay. So profit and the loss is disappear in the long run cases in the perfectly competition form. Why the profit and the loss will disappear in these long run cases? Let's start with the profit. If the firm having high amount of profit, okay, the other firm would like to take entry into the market. Okay. So the other firm enter into the market, and as the other firm enter into the market, the competition will become higher as there are more number of the firm into the market. Competition higher, they are producing more, and therefore the supply of the product is also higher. And as the supply is higher, the price of the product will decline. Okay, and the price is declining, and the other side is the large number of firm, okay, very large number of firm, and they are bidding for the input pricing. Okay, input pricing, and as they are bidding high for the input pricing, the cost of production will increase. So here we can say that the cost of the production is increased and the market price is declining. So the firm having less profit or the zero profit. Okay, here the zero profit is the level at which the firm having the normal profit. So the excess profit of the firm which have in the short run case will reduce in the long run case due to the higher competition, due to the entry of the other firm into the market. But in case if the firm having loss, in the long run, then they are taking exit from the market. So the market share of these firms will share by all the other firms, and therefore the firm will end up making the normal profit. Okay, as the competition will decrease and they are able to achieve the normal profit level. So the profit and losses will disappear in the long run cases. Let's understand this with the help of an example, that is the graph. Here in the graph, we can see that on the x-axis we have the output and the y-axis we have the revenue. We know that the price is equal to the marginal revenue and the average revenue. Okay, but in a long run cases there is no profit and there is no excess profit, that is the firm having only normal profit. So the AC will also equal to the AR and MR, and AC is equal to the AR and MR, but there is a point where the MC and AR will equal, so that they have the maximum profit, and therefore the MC is all these 5 will also equal to each other. It is a point, that is the MR and the AR curve, it is equilibrium point. In the short run, the firm having profit and the price is at this point, but it is reduced in a long run cases. And if the firm having loss, then in the short run, then in the long run firm can have the normal profit. Okay, so this is about the long run cases and the short run cases and their equilibrium point. Let's move on to the shutdown point in a perfectly competitive market. Here the shutdown point is a point where the firm closes their business. Okay, so when the firm having profit, of course they continue their business as they are having profit, but in the cases of losses, the firm may continue or may not continue with the business. Okay. When the firm is incurring losses, but the amount, the revenue that is generated by the firm is able to cover the variable cost and the part of the fixed cost, then the firm continues with the business as they are able to cover the part of the fixed cost. If they are covering the part of the fixed cost and at that point they are shutting down their business, the whole fixed cost should be borne by the firm, and they don't do that. Okay, so when the firm is able to cover the part of the fixed cost, then they are continue with the business. But in the cases when the firm is able to cover the variable cost, but not the fixed cost, even a part of the fixed cost, then the firm should shut down their organization. It is a shutdown point. Let's understand this with the help of a graph when the firm have the shutdown point. Okay. Here we have the P1 and the P2 prices, and we know that the AR and the MR curve is equal and the demand curve. Okay. So the AR, MR and the demand curve for the P1 and P2 prices given. Here we have the MC curve, ATC curve, that is marginal cost, average total cost and the average variable cost. Okay. Let's think about when the price is P1. Okay. When the price is P1, the firm is selling the Q1 quantity. Okay. Here, when the price is P1, the variable cost is KQ1. Okay, these one. Okay, and EK, LK is the fixed cost. Okay, LK is the fixed cost. So here in this case, the variable cost, this is the curve. So the variable cost is covered by the firm when the price is the P1, and the LK is the total fixed cost, but that is EK is covered by the firm. So the part of the fixed cost is covered by the firm, and therefore the firm should continue with the business as they are able to cover the part of the fixed cost. But let's think about the P2 price. At P2 price also, the firm is selling Q1 quantity. Okay. And at that point, the price is at this point, and the firm is able to cover only this much of the cost. Okay. They are not able to cover even a part of the fixed cost, and therefore the firm should shut down their production at P2 price. Okay. So this is the shutdown point into the market for any firm. Let's move on to the advantages and the disadvantages of the perfect competition. Firstly, what is the advantages of the perfect competition? The first advantages of the perfect competition is that the firm is working for the maximum welfare of the people. They are giving the maximum welfare to the people of the society, as they are producing the quantity at a very lower price, lower cost, and giving to the buyer at a very cheapest cost. Okay. So this is the one of the advantages of the perfect competition, and they are attaining the efficient size of the business. Okay. So they are using the resources optimally and attaining the efficient size of the business. So this is about the advantages of the perfect competition. Here it says that it is for the maximum welfare of the people, but these advantages is incompatible. Okay. In cases when buyer ignore something, or they do not have foresightedness, they do not having the complete knowledge about the product or etc., and they are end up with buying something which is harmful to them or which is not useful to them. So it is not compatible. But this perfect competition is justified only when the extra cost of extra cost to the community for giving the additional product to the community is same as the extra cost incurred by the seller. Okay. Extra cost of producing one additional unit for the community is same as the extra cost incurred by the seller. Only when the perfect competition can exist. Okay. So this is about the advantages and disadvantages. Here the perfect competition is working for the welfare of the people and attaining the efficient size of the business only when the buyer have the foresightedness and the extra cost of producing one more unit will equal to the extra cost incurred by the seller. So this is all about the perfect competition. I hope you have understood the concept very well. In the next lecture, we will start with another type of the market structure, that is the monopoly. Stay tuned for that.